Hey guys, what is going on? This is Panzer Dragon, and today we'll be doing a video on 5 things to look out for, and I guess the only things in patch 6.16. There's literally nothing really happening, I guess because Worlds is coming up and the finals, but I guess they don't want to make too much changes. Also, shout out to Pro Guides for sponsoring this video. Check them out for all your rank game needs. There will be a link in the description below. Anyways, with all that being said, let's get started. Alright, so first up we're going to be talking about Kled, who is going to be a champion released in this patch. So I'm not sure what Kled is going to be. I feel like he's going to be an AD bruiser. At the same time, I feel like also he could be a really good tank as well as going full AD. I'm not 100% sure what he's going to be. But in my opinion, he seems really strong and quite flat out broken. The reasons behind that is because he does a lot when he's in the front line, like a lot of damage, is a disruptor, and yeah, he's actually got pretty good base damage, although I have not played him since he was released on the PBE, so there could have been a few changes. Anyways, on release, I feel like his win rate is going to be 52%, and maybe once people figure out how to play him, he's going to be around 54%. Next up, Aurelia is getting some changes in this patch. First of all, the range on her passive has been reduced, and now the way her passive works is based on how much people are around her, and now gives her tenacity based on how much allies and enemies are around her. So if it's a 2v1 in favor of Aurelia, she gets no tenacity. If it's a 1v1, she gets 10% tenacity. If she is outnumbered, then she gets 25 to 40% based on her level. So it's definitely a pretty big nerf, since this passive in team fights will only give her 10% as it's a 5v5. But when she's getting ganked, she gets 25 to 40% based on her level, and there can only be 2 people. But originally, you need to have 3 people to get 40% tenacity, which honestly isn't too much enemies, and also the range has been reduced, so they have to be a little bit closer for her to get a nerf. But also, you could be diving in the back line alone and be really far from your allies, so you can get 40% tenacity. But overall, it's not really too good and is a nerf to her, and will probably bring her win rate down by 1.4%. Maybe a little bit more, but who knows. Next up is going to be Nautilus, and his R now stuns enemies who are knocked up along the way of his R. Before, it just knocked him up for 0.5 seconds, now you can add 1 to 2 seconds to it, and they'll be CC'd for quite a bit. So this is a pretty big CC buff, and I'm wondering how it will work out for him, as if you get a really good ultimate lined up, I'm pretty sure you can wipe the whole enemy team. But this change doesn't buff his damage or anything like that, and it's only available whenever he uses his ultimate. What I'm going to predict is a 1.4% increase in his win rate, but it could be more OP than I thought and may increase it even more. Next up is going to be Sona. So her E is getting nerfed a bit, removing some of the movement speed, but it's only removing her movement speed and not her allies. And it's only about 3%, so it's not too big of a deal. AP ratio is lowered, but I don't think she builds too much AP. But the cooldown reduction off her ultimate is being reduced at level 6 and level 11. So her early game is a little bit weaker, but her late game is still going to be strong. Now what I predict is a 2.5 decrease in her win rate, but it is pretty high right now, so I don't think it'll matter too much. Next up, we're going to be talking about Victor. So there are going to be changes coming to his ultimate. The max speed is being lowered, but the minimum speed is being increased. But your R starts slowing down once it reaches 300 units away instead of 350. But the minimum speed is achieved when it's 900 units away instead of 950, which is actually another nerf. So will Victor still be good after these changes? Of course. But he's been getting nerfed quite a bit in the last few patches, so it wouldn't surprise me too much if he went away from the meta. After this change, I predict a 1.2% decrease in his win rate. Anyways, that's it for this video. It was pretty short because there's not a lot of changes unless they have more things in the patch notes, but this is based off the PBE notes, so don't blame me if they add some things to the patch. Well, actually, you can blame me because I made the video, but in my last patch notes video, which was 6.14, I asked you guys what is your favorite change of the patch, and here are some of my favorite answers. For a chance to be featured in a future video, make sure to comment below on your favorite change as of patch 6.16. Anyways, if you guys did like this video, make sure to leave a like, and if you didn't, make sure to subscribe. Anyways, I am Panzer Dragon, and I'll see you guys next time.